Listen, y'all would be so proud of me. Instead of moving it around like I did, check this out. Check this out. Bam! Bam, bam, bam. So now I'm not moving everything around. Y'all have to sit here and wait for me to adjust it. Bam, bam, bam. Look at me learning technology. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch this video right here. And it is called An Uncomfortable Conversation with Cody Ko. And I think D'Angelo Wallace was the perfect person of bigger significance to come out and say it. I know Adam McIntyre has been covering it. A lot of the T channels have been covering it. But it needed that touch to it. And I'm going to be honest. I don't think it would have come off from somebody from the commentary community. Like this commentary community. Not commentary community as a whole, as in like all of commentary YouTubers. But like this particular commentary community, I don't think it was somebody from here that should have said it. So let's watch this and let's see what's up. You know what? I'm going to do it at 1.25.
Alright, Cody, let's have an uncomfortable conversation. Someone has been alleging for years now that you, one of the largest commentary creators on YouTube, knowingly committed a crime against her when she was a minor. But YouTubers and viewers alike are ignoring and discrediting these allegations solely because the person making them happens to be an unlikable woman online, yes. Tana Mongeau. And you know that people are ignoring this because nobody is working harder to bury the story than you. And you're getting away with it because commentary YouTube has a serious problem. I can't blame any of your viewers or my viewers for not hearing about this because you've done such a good job hiding it up until now that I only found out about it recently. The situation has been talked about by smaller channels, it's been discussed at length on other platforms, and it keeps almost hitting the mainstream, like with this Rolling Stone article or this...
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I don't go to Reddit for news. I absolutely do not go to Reddit for news. Because what I find in most Reddit situations, especially with r/YouTube drama, Reddits have a tendency to be hug boxes, and they may start out with good intentions sometimes, but they end up becoming a whole ass tornado of hate. And then before you know it, conspiracy theories are flying. I'm gonna tell you that now. I don't go to Reddit for any kind of news. I'll go there if it's plausible, but I don't, yeah.
Discussed at length on other platforms, and it keeps almost hitting the mainstream, like with this Rolling Stone article or this H3 podcast discussion. But the reason it hasn't caught on yet, despite all of this, is that none of your friends, nobody on your level, nobody in the commentary niche with enough pull is willing to admit that this situation makes you look terrible.
A lot of people like him a lot, and they really are like doing any kind of...
I don't even know who Cody Ko is. Okay? That's how, I guess, how old I am. I don't even know who Cody Ko is. But apparently, people love them some Cody Ko. I never knew it. I do not know who Cody Ko is. Okay, see? Skip don't know either, so at least I'm not the only one. I've seen his face before, though. I have seen his face before. Yeah, he started from Vine. That's what I was told. He started from Vine, yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Mental gymnastic to just ignore it.
I'm not here to accuse you of committing a crime in this video because I can't do that based on someone else's allegations. Nobody can definitively take these allegations as proof, right. But at the same time, they should still be looked at and not treated.
And that's why people who are running this story, you need to be careful and continuously use the word allegation because these are allegations. Okay, let's make that very clear. These are allegations.
As an open secret and swept under the rug like you've been doing for so many years now. And from the way the situation keeps popping up more and more often, it's clear that there's only so much rug sweeping you can do before people start taking a closer look at things. So let's take a closer look. We both know that Tana Mongeau is a YouTube personality with a history of lies, controversy, and genuinely problematic behavior.
Yeah, but my God, look how pretty she is. Tana makes me sick on how pretty she is. Like, I automatically have a hate boner for her because she's pretty. Y'all know how I am. I don't like pretty women. Yeah, I hate them. Like, I hate Swoop. I hate Swoop because she's pretty. She's too pretty. Like, no, it's not right. Sorry.
Know that Tana Mongeau is a YouTube personality with a history of lies, controversy, and genuinely problematic behavior that's become so entangled with her brand that her podcast is called Cancelled with Tana Mongeau. And speaking of this podcast, about a month ago, she hosted a live episode in front of an audience, and the conversation turned to you.
Who's the smallest you've ever had sex with? Oh my God, no one look at me, Cody Ko. I can say that. I was literally 17. I can say that.
This clip started making the rounds, and people were understandably perturbed because if Tana Mongeau was 17, you would have been 25. So people started speculating, and Tana decided to set the record straight.
Bruh. 25 and 17. Okay, so for all the slut shamers out there, they're like, well, what was the age of consent in the state they were in? Okay, let's figure that out. Let's figure out what the age of consent was in that state.
Was 17, you would have been 25. So people started speculating, and Tana decided to set the record straight.
I hooked up with Cody Ko when I was 17 and he was 25.
She claims that not only were you fully aware of her age at the time, but someone even tried to stop you, and you went ahead anyway.
There was a situation with Gabby Hannah at a Playlist Live where she pulled him aside and told him, like, yo, she's 17. And then
Playlist Live. You know where Playlist Live was? In Florida. You know what the age of consent is in Florida? 18. It's not looking good, Cody. Not looking good, Cody. Not looking good at all. No. Okay, let's see what she's got to say.
Head anyway.
there was a situation with Gabby Hannah at a Playlist Live where she pulled him aside and told him, like, yo, she's 17. And then we still went and hooked up.
To be clear, 17 is under the age of consent in many states, including Florida, where Playlist Live used to take place.
Yep.
So this means that Tana Mongeau is accusing you of statutory rape, and she's not trying to hide that.
This isn't just some crazy tea. It was a crime.
Nothing would make this situation better, but plenty of things make it worse, like the fact that she was a fan of yours at the time, adding an additional layer to the power dynamic you would have had over her.
I grew up loving him, and I think you know what I mean? Like, I was just like excited and a fan.
Tana seems to have many feelings about this, which we'll go over a bit later, but she stated very clearly that the actions she's accusing you of are inexcusable.
If I had a 17-year-old daughter or a little sister or something, like, I would kill.
I would.
Period. And this is where it comes down to Tana had she didn't have any parents looking out for her. She was running wild at 14, 15, 16 years old. Later in her teenage years, it was one of her friends' parents that was raising her because her own parents weren't. Tana had a rough childhood. And because she didn't have that parental upbringing, I think that's why she was so wild when she was younger. She didn't have any guidance. And it's sad. That's sad to see. I'm glad she's the woman she's turned into today, though. And that's a good thing. But people got to remember that.
Never let it fly.
These recent allegations are bad enough on their own, but there are a couple of things that make them worse still. Things that many people don't know yet, but you do. You know that Tana has been making the same specific claim against you for years now. Here she is back in 2021 saying the same thing.
I was 17 at the time, 18. I started kind of hooking up with other people. Shout out JC Caitlin, shout out Cody Ko.
But what
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that she's been talking about this since 2021. I had no clue. I had absolutely no clue that she's been talking about this since 2021. But I never really, Tana was one of those, I was like, ew, Tana. I don't want to watch her because she just drove me insane. I can watch Tana now. I like her podcast. I think her podcast is really cute.
At the time, 18. I started kind of hooking up with other people. Shout out JC Caitlin, shout out Cody Ko.
But what lends the most credibility to Tana's claims, and what is really the most damning thing for you, Cody, is a clip that you might not have even seen yet. See, I read the Rolling Stone article, I watched the YouTube videos about this, and they all missed something. And I understand why. The clip I'm about to show you is extremely hard to find. The original has been lost to time, and it's a wonder we have this on video at all. But if there was anything to give me any more clarity about these allegations before I formed my opinion, I was going to find it. Remember?
He's coming with the receipts. Let's go.
How Tana said that fellow YouTuber Gabby Hannah tried to stop you before everything allegedly went down? Well, did you know that Gabby is actually on record telling the exact same story several years ago?
One time, I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside and I was like, hey man, you probably don't know, I know she like looks a little older, she's underage. watch it. And he's like, oh my God, thank you for telling me. And then he turned that.
This is really...
Damn. Damn. And that's what you call a receipt. Well, okay. Midna says, I think it's true without Gabby's take, but it solidifies a lot. Okay, Midna, I agree. But however, with allegations like these, you've got to have some kind of evidence of some sort. You know what I mean? Because especially, I hate to say it, especially with Tana, because Tana's known for being a liar. Tana is known for being a little liar.
Really bad. People make accusations all the time, specifically regarding things that are very difficult to prove or disprove, unfortunate as that may be. But when somebody makes an allegation and they say they have a witness, and that witness can be found telling the exact same story years before any of this came out, that's not something I can just ignore. In a situation that cannot be proven, corroboration by a third party goes a long way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It does go a long way. It adds more substance to the claim. Where you have Tana years later saying that Gabby Hannah told him, and then you actually have a recording years before any of this came out, years before, Gabby telling the exact same story without names, but word for word, that adds a little substance to the claim. Because obviously Gabby said that unprompted by Tana. Tana wasn't there. It was just a story she was telling. Just saying.
And frankly, Cody, the allegations against you seem to have been corroborated. But instead of researching to find these answers like I did, many of your fans seem far more interested in attacking your accuser.
I have seen so many comments, but what was she wearing? It's Tana, so who cares?
Okay. Now, this shit's crazy.
In attacking your accuser.
I have seen so many comments, but what was she wearing?
We're always saying we mature so much faster than men and shit. Tana looked older than Cody does then and now. It's not like she was boobless virgin with no experience. If it's not a trauma for her, then what the She was 17 months away from being 18. It's crazy. You know what I find amazing? Is how you people, and I'm talking about all you little 17, all you little slut shamers of people who were 17, okay? All you people out there, you little slut shamers, okay? It is amazing to me that y'all will raise your torches against people you don't like doing this, but when it's one of your faves, you come up with 100,015 reasons why it's okay. And some of y'all flat out, I have seen it on Twitter, some of y'all have flat out say, well, you know what? Tana's a slut anyway. Y'all are disgusting. And I hope and pray karma don't bite you in your own ass. Through your own child. Or through a minor in your family. I hope karma doesn't come back and bite you in your ass. Y'all will lift your torches and go against people you don't like, but when it's one of your faves, it's Tana. Who cares? You should absolutely feel ashamed of yourself.
It's Tana, so who cares? Well, it's Tana Mongeau.
The reaction to this has been unsurprising but incredibly disappointing. Demanding proof that they know she can't provide, acting like she's only doing this to gain clout or ruin you somehow, despite the fact that she's never once put your name in a video title over this. Or worst of all, implying that a 17-year-old could...
She wasn't no victim. She was 17 and obviously consented. First of all, it's Tana. Of course she would sleep with him. She is also 17, which is old enough to have a clear idea of what you're doing. So yes, it's fine. But I guarantee you, if this was somebody they didn't like, they would have their torches up.
Could have truly consented to any of this. But let's be clear about one thing. That is not the case. No amount of retroactive age calculations or what-if scenarios change the fact that what Tana described would be, objectively speaking, A crime. A crime which you've said absolutely nothing about. And even if this wasn't illegal, you remember being 25. You would have known then, as I currently know at age 25, that nobody this age should need an explanation for why a 17-year-old is off limits, because you remember being 17 too. Now, thankfully, Tana's personal experience with this isn't one of trauma. In fact, I've seen people defending you by saying, Tana said she doesn't care, so why should any of us care? But that's not exactly what she was saying.
I don't associate or hold it with trauma because I am such a comparative person where I'm like, so many worse things have happened to me.
Don't you think if she was trying to grab clout with this story, she wouldn't have said that? Don't you think she would have been doing a whole podcast episode with his name in the title if she was trying to grab clout? In this episode right here, his name's not even in the title. Wouldn't she, if she was trying to grab clout, wouldn't she be playing it up, talking about how traumatized she was and this, that, and the other? Or wouldn't she be doing videos with his name in it? She would, if she was trying to grab clout. But she's not. Not at all.
And even if something isn't consciously internalized as an identifiable source of trauma, the body keeps the score.
I know things manifest in ways other than me directly feeling them. Like maybe I don't feel traumatized in certain aspects from certain things, and other things I do, but you know, maybe they just manifest in ways other than directly feeling.
The answer to why any of us should care is that a person has tried to come forward about her experience and has been met with the most vitriolic victim blaming I've seen.
You just believe any nasty slag with a gaper that says whatever, I guess. Bro, what? What? And you know what? He's better than me because I would have left that name out there. I would have left that name out there. I would have left the name up there. I would name and shame that person who wrote that. D'Angelo's better than me. If you got the balls to say it on the internet, then I'm going to have the balls to show everybody you said it on the internet. She seems like a cliche party girl who gets wasted drunk doing whatever drug a guy will... something her free, sleeps with anyone who will give her attention, then later regrets it. She had shit parents who didn't give her the proper love, attention, and care she deserved and needed as a child. It's unfortunate, but just because she has childhood trauma doesn't mean we have to believe her or side with her if she willingly slept with him. Yeah, it makes him skeezy, but acting like he is a rapist or crazy sex offender is a reach. Oh, you should see him on Twitter. They're bad on Twitter, too.
Seen in years. She's been dismissed, discredited, and disbelieved before anybody ever gave her a chance, because it's Tana, which sets a horrible precedent that if a person runs out of goodwill, they lose the right to come forward with their experiences.
The most traumatizing thing of all of this really was seeing how many people like don't believe people or don't believe me. I feel so bad for all of these young girls because then they see that and then it makes them not want to come forward.
And you, Cody.
And that's true. That's true. That's true. This is quite honestly the reason why a lot of people don't come out when they have experiences like this, men or women. This is the reason why, because of how people react to it.
Are part of the reason she's been met with this reaction. Your status as one of YouTube's golden boys has made it possible for you to ignore a situation that almost anyone else would have had to respond to by now.
I know for a fact if you swapped out Cody Ko with someone that like people didn't like that much, I would be receiving so much more sympathy.
I find your silence on the situation to be uncomfortable because I know that if Tana's allegations are true, then silence would be your only option, since telling the truth would be tantamount to confessing to a crime, and lying would put you at risk of being contradicted by a witness. And like I told you at the beginning, I'm not accusing you of committing a crime, but even if what Tana says is false, your silence is still grossly incompetent at best. Why?
He's an old school YouTuber. They're gonna stay silent. They're gonna stay silent. That's their MO. That's what they do. They stay silent. They don't come out with what they did. And when they do, it's always a gray hoodie in the middle of the floor, either in front of a bed or a couch.
Are you choosing the path that would be your only option if you were guilty? Now, some seem to think that you're not obligated to speak up, and maybe that's what people around you are telling you as well. But from one creator to another, you absolutely have an obligation to, at the very least, call out the misogyny, the victim blaming, and all manner of cognitive dissonance that's coming from your audience in the name of defending you against allegations that you're too cowardly to address.
Ooh, let's listen to that again. Oh my God. Get him.
Around you are telling you as well. But from one creator to another, you absolutely have an obligation to, at the very least, call out the misogyny, the victim blaming, and all manner of cognitive dissonance that's coming from your audience in the name of defending you against allegations that you're too cowardly to address. And to be clear, this is cowardice, because you demonstrate it whenever there's controversy afoot. Tana's further claim...
That is a mic drop. Like, the video can be over at this point. That is a mic drop. Everything he just said is a mic drop, because... He where's the lie? Where's the lie in what he just said? There is no lie. Even if these aren't true, why aren't you saying something about it?
Claims make it sound like you're terrified.
I said something about it online and it was starting to surface, and he texted me like, "Are we good?" and was like, I said yeah, and like he was like, "My wedding's coming up."
You do have a history of making bad choices when you're terrified of people finding things out, like your history of using slurs.
Nigga 6, nigga 7, nigga 8, nigga 9, nigga.
There's more clips than that, but the reason most people are blissfully unaware of them is because you posted your vague apology not on Twitter, not on YouTube, but on Patreon.
He posted his apology on Patreon. Not to the grander audience, but to the people who are paying him. Not to the grander audience, not to Twitter. That tells you that he's scared of his own audience. It tells you right then and there, he's scared of his own audience. Oh, God. I'm going to tell you what. The day I become scared of y'all in this manner, where I can't own up to shit, and I'm scared that my own audience cancels me, I'm quitting YouTube. I'm quitting this. The day I let y'all run me is the day I quit.
Despite acknowledging in your apology that the clips were surfacing on Twitter. This is one of many examples of your poor handling of controversy. Not many people know that you've already lost fans over an eerily similar topic. You used to frequently feature and promote your college friend Colby Leachman in your videos, until it came out that during your school days, Leachman's university put him on probation for...
Leachman entered a plea of responsibility that he violated Duke's policy with regard to unauthorized surveillance and photography. He was placed on probation. Yeah, because, you know, universities, they have a great history of passing down judgment on people who do bad things.
Leachman in your videos, until it came out that during your school days, Leachman's university put him on probation for, as a United States district judge would later put it, the non-consensual videotaping of a sex act with another student, showing the video to other people, lying to the police about the video, and behaving horribly to that individual and at least one other woman. To make matters worse, the woman in the video also alleged that Leachman drugged her before the recording and that she hadn't actually consented to anything at all. You had the...
Woo! Oh my God, no. Oh, Cody. Cody, what are you doing, bro? Oh.
This man in your videos. You were telling us to follow him on Instagram, and at some point you did wise up, so he's no longer part of your content, but he still seems like he's very much a part of your friend group. From the continued hangout since then to inviting him to your wedding just last year, people are under the impression that you're best friends with someone who, at best, committed an illegal sex act and at worst is an alleged rapist. And no matter how many times people rediscover this information over the years, you refuse to say anything at all. You could clarify this, but you won't. But now you're...
He's not going to. He's scared. Apparently, I guess he's known as being like cookie cutter. Those are the worst. Oh my God, the cookie cutter YouTubers are the worst. They are the absolute worst. Because they can get caught in something, they'll never say anything about it. They just ride the storm out.
Cowardice has reached a new low. You've tried speaking and you've tried silence, and now you're choosing censorship. On your YouTube channel, where you've been pumping out content nearly every day now, I couldn't find a single comment on your last video about this situation. Not even one. Comparing that to the comment section on your Instagram, where every single comment I saw was about this, it's clear that you're heavily censoring your audience on YouTube. But surely you must have realized the limits by now, since people have just transferred the conversation over to your wife's channel. The fact that her comment section is overrun due to you...
You can't just ignore the issue. Come on now. I thought you guys were cool, but you continue to prove me wrong. You and Cody are losing tons of your female fans. Address the allegations. Address the allegations.
Your decision to stay silent about this should be all.
How is she not absolutely mortified by all this? Wow. Don't speak about it then, but no, Otis will grow up one day and see all this online. I guess that's their kid. Let's even say your child will be fine with the idea of his father acting this way. You have a failed family dynamic and no morals. Now, I guess that's supposed to be imagined. You have a daughter and the same happens to her as did Tana.
All the proof you need that decision was wrong. At this point, your silence and censorship are a response with disturbing implications. The only thing that I've seen this hidden portion of your audience asking for is the truth. So why aren't you telling it? And your silence isn't the only one that's bothering me either.
All these Reddit threads, like if my name's on any thread, it's all getting deleted.
I witnessed the heavy-handed moderation of your subreddit in real time as I researched this video. I would refresh the page and posts would suddenly be unapproved by moderators after racking up hundreds of comments, removed because they could, quote, instigate drama.
If you delete it, it goes away. If you ignore it, it goes away. That's the mindset. Delete it, it goes away. All you have to do is ride the storm out, and eventually people won't talk about it anymore. But here's the sad part. The sad part is you can't run away from this, Cody, and this is the reason why you can't run away with it. Because most people weren't talking about this a month ago. A few channels were. But in came D'Angelo Wallace. And now he has put it to the forefront and everybody is looking at you sideways. Like, wait a minute. Excuse me, what? What? Now it's gotten even bigger. And it's going to continue to get bigger. There's going to be bigger creators who are known to going after people who are going to cover this. Because you didn't say anything about it.
Drama, or more commonly, just locked and or removed with no reason given whatsoever. I'm sure whoever is doing this thinks they're helping you, but you should probably tell them that they're making things look 10 times worse.
Yes.
But it's not just your moderators, it's your friends and fellow YouTubers too. It's no coincidence that with the exception of the H3 podcast, I haven't seen a single channel over 1 million subscribers do so much as acknowledge that this situation exists. And I'm not talking about channels that never would have discussed something like this either. I mean the same channels that were rightfully calling out people like Dr. Disrespect for texting a minor, which are the same channels.
Yeah, calling out Dr. Disrespect is easier to do, right? You know why calling out Dr. Disrespect was easier to do? Because Dr. Disrespect wasn't cookie cutter. I mean, rightfully so. I called out Dr. Disrespect too because, you know, wrong is wrong. Okay? But Dr. Disrespect wasn't cookie cutter. Dr. Disrespect didn't go with the flow of how the internet thinks you should act and your talking points and stuff like that. So it's easy to call out Dr. Disrespect. With these allegations, shouldn't Cody be called out the same way?
Channels that are now completely ignoring a scenario with an even bigger creator being accused of doing something much worse. You can't say it's because the allegations are unconfirmed because the channels that I'm talking about discuss rumors all the time. And this video is all the proof you need that there's still plenty to discuss even without making definitive statements.
Yep.
The general public may not know about the situation, but I promise you anyone who's online enough to run a YouTube channel does.
The amount of people in this industry who like want to protect him and are like talking to me in a way where it's like they, you know what I mean? Like, or even just friends like, but I love him.
The community silence on this has been so staggering that people are now saying that commentary YouTube is a boys club.
Bruh. This classic boys club bullshit. Let the brigade call Tana a liar while simultaneously lambasting her for not speaking out sooner. Push it under the rug, censor the main sub as a cluster right now. If I was a public figure, my only supporters were misogynists saying that rape isn't a big deal, then I'd really rethink my content and persona.
Community silence on this has been so staggering that people are now saying that commentary YouTube is a boys club, aka a male-dominated space that mistreats women while enabling and protecting men. And the truth is, Cody, whether you're guilty or not, you are being enabled to ignore this and protected from having to respond as an act of misogyny towards Tana Mongeau. We both know that on our side of commentary YouTube, any man can easily elevate himself by dunking on misogynists in his content and espousing a generally feminist viewpoint.
Oh yeah, that's those male feminists. Absolutely. And you people fall for these male feminists every single time, bro. I do not understand how y'all fall for it every single time. Have y'all not noticed by now? Have y'all not noticed by now that a good percentage of the good guys on YouTube are not really the good guys? That it's an act. It's a way to get money. It's a way for y'all to buy their merch or their ticket sales or go to see them live or, you know, buy the tickets for the meet and greet. I mean, haven't y'all realized that by now? We are in the year of our Lord 2024 and y'all still get fooled by this shit. Do not believe what YouTubers tell you. Especially if they come off as a cookie cutter YouTuber.
But if that viewpoint turns to silence, the moment a situation is no longer cut and dry, then that viewpoint was a brand strategy, not a belief. The misogyny that we should be discussing is right here in the community, yet the only thing I'm hearing is a bitter, hollow silence, one that you have the power to end. I said it in the beginning, I said it in the middle, and I'll end with this. One person's testimony does not give me the right to accuse you of doing anything illegal, but I can point out the facts. It's a fact that you and Tana were around each other during the year she specified, as seen in your uncomfortable collab videos, which are still online. It's a fact that Gabby Hannah has made claims that seem to corroborate Tana's allegations against you.
Oh, we're going to get into that too. Right after this video.
And it's a fact that you are suppressing your audience's knowledge of these allegations by censoring your YouTube comment section.
Now, with all these facts, it doesn't make the story look any better for you, Cody. Again, these are just allegations. All right? There is no solid proof on this. But you know, all the little facts surrounding this allegation, it doesn't make it look good for Cody. It surely doesn't.
These things may not prove Tana's allegation, but you better believe that they contextualize them in a way that you need to address. And you still have every right to address this, even now.
Absolutely.
If you have a side of the story that we're missing, then tell it. If I have my facts wrong, say something. Nobody should ever be denied the right to tell the truth, no matter what.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Especially if it's not true. My God, say something. Because this is a pretty substantial accusation. Absolutely. And you have absolutely every right to stand up for yourself. Say something. Your silence is deafening, bro. Your silence is absolutely deafening.
I'm sure we can all agree that everyone should have the right to speak their truth.
Yes.
But that's exactly why I couldn't just sit here and watch the whole world tell Tana that it doesn't apply to her. Regardless of the truth of the
That's what irritates me. I understand Tana has been very, very, very problematic in the past. Okay? She was young and dumb. She literally was young and dumb. She was the perfect embodiment of the statement young and dumb. But to deny her story just because it's Tana, that's not right. That's not right. Even if you think Tana is a bad person, you do know bad things can happen to bad people, right? And those bad things that happen to those bad people should also be called out, along with the bad things happening to the people that you like. It shouldn't matter who it is. It should matter what it is. And that's what irritates the hell out of me with this story. Very true, Ingrid. There is no such thing as a perfect victim. Very true. But again, these are just allegations. But just like D'Angelo just pointed out, all the facts surrounding the allegations don't look good for Cody.
Situation I'm just so disappointed either way. That is all. Goodbye, Cody.
Good job. Keemstar came out with this thread at 9:57 this morning, Eastern Standard Time. And Keem said the following. Cody Ko, statutory rape of Tana Mongeau. Allegation. He knows to put allegation on there. This is what I know. Years ago, Gabby Hannah told me in an off-record statement that a 25-year-old Cody Ko was kissing a 17-year-old Tana at Playlist Live in Florida. The age of consent in Florida is 18. Anyone 24 or older hooking up with a 16, 17-year-old is statutory rape. Gabby told me she pulled Cody Ko aside to inform him that Tana was 17, and Cody Ko said thank you for the warning to Gabby. Gabby said later that night Cody Ko had sex with Tana even though she warned him. I also spoke with Tana to confirm the story. She confirmed it. But at the time, Tana was upset with Gabby for sharing her story. Because let's be honest, Gabby Hannah is kind of known for telling other people's stories. All right, Gabby kind of has a little reputation of doing them things. Business Insider was also made aware of this years ago. There is no new statement from Gabby, but I did get permission to share what I was told years ago. Drama Alert also has another source claiming they seen this event happen. Now, people are getting on Keemstar. People are getting on Keemstar for holding on to this story for years. I personally am not getting on Keemstar because certain reasons. One, off-the-record statement. Gabby told him in an off-the-record statement. Okay? That means he would have nobody backing up what he would be claiming. Two, aren't we about not telling victims' stories for them? That they should be the one to tell their own story? Let's be honest about it. Isn't it up to the victim to say their own story? It is. So, Keemstar was absolutely right by not running that story. Now, because of the backlash he was getting, he put this out. Let me check the volume.
I am seeing a lot of replies of people saying, well, Keem, you knew about this alleged statutory rape of Tana Mongeau by Cody Ko for years, and you didn't say anything. You're a horrible, horrible person. Guys, this was told to me years ago off record. I can't just leak that to the internet without knowing it's true, without...
Listen, I understand Keemstar can be a big old shithead. Okay? And he can stir up some drama, and he can just be a plain old asshole. But there's a reason why that the same people that complain about Keem know that they can go to Keem and tell him stuff. Because he does things properly. He does things properly and on the mark. When you tell him something off the record, he keeps it off the record. And that's why so many people actually trust Keemstar. Keem is a lot of things, but when it comes to stuff like this, he's not dumb. He's not.
Without someone actually going on record and destroying Cody Ko's career over something that can't be confirmed. There's no witness on record. I can't just leak that. Please use your brains.
Yep.
All right? I can't just come out with that statement. I wasn't there. I didn't see it with my own eyes. I get told crazy allegations off record on a daily basis. And what my team does is we try to find stuff online to confirm it. And if we can't get some credible stuff online or other witnesses that come out publicly, there's not much we can do. There's not much we can do.
No.
We can't put...
What is he going to do? Tell a victim story without any... Okay, one, what is he going to do? Tell a victim story without the victim actually telling their own story. And for two, what is he going to do? Throw an allegation out there like it's a fact? And he doesn't have anything to back it up? Do you all realize how destroyed Keem would have gotten if he would have said this years ago? Keem would have gotten destroyed. There's a reason why this man has been on the internet as long as he has. Because he's not dumb. That's why. But, I mean, do y'all realize, like, Keemstar, if Keemstar would have ran that story, no one would have trusted him ever again. And what he does on the internet, especially with Drama Alert coming back in the fall, Keem has to maintain that trust with everybody.
Out information that would potentially destroy a YouTuber's career without something solid. Now, what has changed? Well, we have Tana Mongeau on record, and then we have Gabby Hannah's permission of me sharing what I was told years ago. That's what's changed. That's why I'm coming out with this statement now. But I want you guys to use your head. I even had someone saying, well, you didn't go to the police. No, I wasn't there. I didn't witness it. What am I gonna say? Oh, someone told us off record that this happened.
I need Twitter lawyers to shut the hell up. I need all these Twitter professionals. You think you're a professional because you spend all your time online, to shut the f up. Because apparently you do not know how the real world works. You need to go out, touch some grass, and live some life. And most of you are 15, 16, 17 years old anyway. Shut the hell up. I don't want to hear from you until you're 25. Stop it. You need to live some life. You need to go out and get a job. You need to know how it is to interact with people and talk with people. I'm just saying. Shut up. Stop it. I will get my spray bottle out to every single one of you.
What am I going to say? Oh, someone told us off record that this happened.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So Hula says you have Tana's permission? Tana made it public. Once it becomes public domain, you can talk about it. FYI. It's now public. Everybody and their mama can talk about it now. But if it was hush-hush and told to someone in secret, no, it would not have been their place to talk about it. So, there we go. Okay, anyway, let's finish what Keemstar was saying. Let's finish his little diatribe.
I wasn't there. I didn't witness it. What am I gonna say? Oh, someone told us off record that this happened. We're not sure if it's true or not. What can the police even do with that? You know, I'm the wrong person to go to the police. Yep. That would be like Tana Mongeau or Gabby, who were actually there, that can actually, you know, witness the thing and can write out a police statement. And remember, even though like both are now agreeing for these statements to come publicly, it's still an allegation.
Exactly.
It's still an allegation.
It's absolutely still an allegation.
So, guys, I hope you can understand these were off record. I can't just leak that to the internet and potentially ruin Cody Ko's entire career without anyone going on record.
And quite honestly, not only Cody Ko's career, but his own. Platinum says, I'm going to be real. I don't believe anything Gabby says. Yeah, well, Gabby said it years ago, unprompted by Tana. The exact same story that Tana said years later. And I absolutely believe Keemstar when he says what Gabby told him, because I know for a fact that Gabby and Keem are good friends. I know that for a fact. That Gabby Hannah and Keem are good friends. And I don't think Gabby would lie to Keem. And it's the same exact story she said years ago, not prompted by Tana. So, okay. So, Drama Alert put this out. Jake Paul speaking about Cody Ko in 2019. Now, granted, this is Jake Paul talking. You know the sad part is, it's like the troublesome YouTubers. It seems like the troublesome YouTubers are on the right side, and the cookie cutter YouTuber is like looking like because it's an allegation. The cookie cutter YouTuber is looking like the bad guy. This is like a universe that is weird. Okay? Literally a universe that is weird. All right, so Jake Paul speaking about Cody Ko in 2019.
I genuinely felt like Cody has zero remorse. He doesn't give a shit. He's not going to change his ways. the sad part about it is that I think the only way he will change, like maybe his processes or his thoughts on everything, is if he faces enough backlash.
I find it funny that this is coming out of Jake Paul's mouth. I'm sorry. Pot calling the kettle black. Okay, I'm sorry. This isn't about Jake Paul. I will not go on a diatribe about Jake Paul. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. We're just going to watch it. Okay? We're just going to watch it. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. All right? I'm sorry. There is levels of how much I can't stand Jake Paul.
I believe that social media creators won't change if they are a bad person unless they receive enough backlash. For example, James Charles gets accused of being a sexual predator, gets accused of, doing shit to her best friend, like going behind their back, like being a snake to get what he wants. The list goes on and on and on. And he probably would have never changed those habits.
Oh, he didn't change those habits. Don't get me started on James Charles. We're just going to keep chucking through. But he did not change those habits. All right, let's keep going.
Those things unless he faced backlash like he is doing now. And I'm sure he's going to change those ways and have to become a better person. Just like my brother was in a big controversy. He was a crazy, like out of control, filmed whatever he wanted.
Didn't happen for him either. We're just going through the whole list of people that has not changed. We're just going through a whole list of people.
And had this big ego and thought the world couldn't touch him until...
No, he went on to scam his audience. I mean, let's be honest about the situation. And now he's suing the guy who called him out for it. Amazing.
He ran into a brick wall with a controversy. And I believe Cody will have to go through the same thing. I don't think he's big enough where people actually put him through a controversy so he can kind of like stay in his lane and talk shit. But I don't think Cody will change based off of our conversation at all. I don't think he gives a f about other people. He's able to have a fan base because of that. I do understand it. I do understand why people would think his videos are funny. But I guess my message is, like, just let's be more positive and try to not let these people who are like this, like, be a thing.
Yep. Including you, Jake Paul. But I digress. Woo. Jake Paul, good God. But he has a point. None of them's changed. James Charles, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, none of them. The only person in this story who has changed, I believe Tana has changed. So, all right, that's it for that.